on the same day, February 29th. Look, it's obvious that we're not just getting where we want to go, so we can't just throw it off the backs of corporations. So Iowa Hawk says, let's really go after what liberal politicians are asking. Let's soak those rich people. And we're going to do it by going after, let's start with, let's say, the athletes. They get these obscene sports salaries, and they're not really adding any value. So let's just take all of their salaries from both the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, Major League Baseball, not their endorsement deals, but all of their salaries. And let's also take the winnings of the PGA Tour and the money spent on NASCAR, put it all together. And that's $10.1 billion. Now I want you to remember, it takes $10.4 billion just to fund the country every day. So we don't even get a day out of it. Basically, it gets us to 11:35 a.m. on the next day, March 1st. After all this, we basically funded the country for 2 months. So look, forget the athletes. Take all their money, but that's obviously not going to be enough, so let's get to all the really rich people. Let's take 100% of every penny that anyone who makes above, say, $250,000 a year, certainly that'll take care of all of our financial needs for the country for at least a year, won't it? Let's see. According to the Census Bureau, the US Census Bureau, the number of households, US households that are at that number, there's 117.5 million. The percentage of those households that make over $250,000 a year now in that income range is almost 2%, but let's round it up to 2%. And let's take that number and find out what it is. So that number of households really above $250,000 in income right now is 2,350,716 households. The total income, check this out, from all those households that make over $250,000 a year is a total of $1.363 trillion. Now we're talking, right? Iowa Hawk says, let's just eat the rich, let's take everything they got, everything that anyone makes over $250,000 a year, and let's see where that really gets us. It gets us from March 1st at 1 p.m. to July 10th, at 1 p.m. on July 10th, I should say. Now, where do we go from here? We've taxed the richest people in the world, the richest corporations in the world. Look, obviously, we're going to have to really cut some spending somewhere. Well, why don't we just stop spending money on, the wars in Iraq and in Afghanistan? I think there are a lot of us that would love to see that happen. After all, that money is going away to things that could be used for healthcare, or is it just being used really on wars for oil? So let's not spend another dime starting tomorrow. Let's just somehow cut it all off instantaneously, and let's all bring them all home right now. Many people would support that. That, if we somehow could magically do it, would save us $117 billion this year in 2012. That's enough savings basically to cover us until 8 p.m. on July 21st. Listen, who else can we tax that's living too well? Because after all, we need more money. We got to pay our bills here in the US. So Iowa Hawk says this, screw you, Star Wars. We're going to take every penny that you made in movies and toys and lunch boxes, the whole shebang. It took you 35 years for your $26.6 billion, and we're going to come up with some retroactive tax, and we're going to take it all. How much of a difference would that really make in paying our bills? Well, it'll knock us all the way down to 9:20 a.m. on July 24th. Well, look, everyone knows those Hollywood people. They only employ rich actors and producers and directors, and they all live in Beverly Hills. So let's evict everyone in Beverly Hills. Let's confiscate their home, and let's sell all their homes at market value. Look, there's 15,000 homes in Beverly Hills. The average price, $3.2 million. That'll get us $48 billion paying our bills through July 29th of this year. Still in July. Obviously, this isn't working. So Iowa Hawk says, look, Michael Moore assures us that there's plenty of money out there, and it's all tied up with the rich. So guess what, liberal billionaires Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, he says, tough luck for you. His suggestion, you guys are worth $100 billion between the two of you. Maybe it's time for an accidental fall down the stairs. And through the inheritance tax, we will magically keep 50% of that loot, and that'll give us $50 billion to help pay our bills. How far will that get us this year? Well, really, if we killed them both off and took half of everything they have, it gets us to 7 p.m.